Good morning, everybody. Let's start with music and we will reconnect in a few minutes. Everybody grab a coffee or milk if you're my kittens, and let's chat soon. Hi, Chevy girl. Hi, Chevy girl. That was like great finale with Safi saying hi. How is everybody, guys? Oh, I did put this way too low, I think. I wonder if this is good. Did it actually have any zoom on it? I put this a little bit lower so that way the cards are kind of like clearer when we see them. If anybody has problems hearing me, I guess, then you're not hearing this either, but let me know. I'm going to just type this just to make sure. Oh, that's the wrong window. Can anybody confirm that you can hear me? Oh, you heard the happy music. Okay, so you can hear me then. So, how is everybody? Like, we had 3 weeks hiatus. Happy belated like Independence Day. Happy belated Canada Day. What else? What's new with me? Well, kitty cats, the kittens, are going to be fixed on Monday. I'm actually traveling to a different province to do it, which is going to be the opportunity to visit Halifax. Halifax is in a province called Nova Scotia in Canada. Nova Scotia is all the way on Atlantic, and it's possibly one of the most beautiful provinces there. The reason why I chose not to move to that province and move to New Brunswick from Ontario instead was prices, of course, but also the fact that I'm freaked out about global climate change, and I'm always afraid of the island kind of like Atlantic exposed things and how much they can get affected. So I don't know if it was a wise decision, but we will see when I get there. It's much bigger city, Halifax, than where I live. It's about, I think, 500,000 people, and Moncton is about 150,000. So, poor kittens, got those colors, not the cones, so they can have something soft. One is like a peach and one is like a toast. The kittens got named with the help of my mod group. So the one kitten has a little bit more reddish hue. Both of them are red, very dark red, so basically black. But one is more red. So that more red girl, she got named Jasper. Her personality is kind of like really a little timid, but curious. She now comes and sleeps with me, and she even asks for pets here and there. The male kitten Onyx, he's very adventurous. He's everywhere, climbing the curtains and getting in all kinds of troubles. So yeah, I guess he's going to get the toast and she's going to get a peach color. That's going to be that way. And I have to tell you a funny story. Yesterday, Tiger and I, my doggo, we had a really cuddly day from the morning, and it was lots of hugs. He woke me up with hugs. It was really, really sweet. So I decided to treat him, and I barbecued yesterday. I made sausages and I made steaks. So I put it in one hand, a piece of a steak, and another hand I put sausage. So I let him taste it, kind of like lick it a little bit, and so that way to see what he wants to choose. Usually he eats sausages, but it was really, really weird. He just went for the steak and he really enjoyed it. So kind of like funny thing, kind of seeing that they actually have their own preferences, and makes you wonder like what we are eating. Alrighty guys, so today will be messages, and we are going to have our little kind of like rounds of guesses as well. Oh, where is my little guessing bag? Guessing bag is here. Let's get a guessing bag. And let's shuffle them in there. And let's see who is here. Knitting Yogi was the first. Good morning. Then Barbie. Hello, Barbie. So we have newbies. Marlene. Lorna is here. Who else? Tim. Hello, Tim. Welcome. It's always good to see a guy. Where is Chris? Chris still didn't arrive. Somebody call him. Wake him up. Brr, brr, kind of a thing. And I guess I'm a little bit early. So what are we going? We are going through Cancer transitions. So it makes sense that we do Cancer first. I was thinking for Morgan Greer and Gypsy, but then I was thinking Morgan Greer with Lenormand. I mean, this is also a form of a Gypsy deck as well, and I know actually you guys love this deck as well. Do you guys have any preference? Because this one is for sure, this one will be a go. Also smaller cards, which I like because it's so much easier for me to shuffle. Do you guys have any other preference for today? Because looking all my decks, and some of them are so advanced that you might not even find them like even, you know, kind of like appealing at all. Some of them are like simplicity, like Hermetic Tarot, because it's just black and white and gives me all of that information I need to know, Moon and Leo, blah blah blah. But it's not visually appealing whatsoever. And since nobody's talking, or rather to say, like probably everybody is just in each other, kind of like way. You guys are so chatty, and nobody's making decision. I guess I'll have to make an executive decision. So I'm going to still stick to my original decision, and if I really have to, Queen of Swords deck and Lenormand, Queen of Swords deck. I don't have a Queen of Swords deck. I don't think I do. Everyday Witch. I have Everyday Witch, and I just had it some close. Is this Everyday Witch? Just a sec. Yeah, Everyday Witch. I have Everyday Witch. Let me see if anybody else. So here, you guys, I'll show you the difference, and everybody can like put your 2 cents. This will be your Morgan Greer, kind of like how it looks. And this is your Everyday Witch, how it looks. So can we have a really quick raise of hands. Anybody who is here, all 6 of you, please kind of like give me your 2 cents. We are early. You're making a decision, big decision, big decision. If nobody else, I guess Knitting Yogi did put her 2 cents. We can kind of go with that. Barbie, we didn't get your input. I meant Morgan Greer. Okay, so we are 50-50 here. So let's see, which one, guys, do you prefer? Do you want the left one or the right one? This is like Everyday Witch, and this is Morgan Greer. So, or large and small. Okay, anybody else? Everyday Witch, Barbie. So we have 2 to 1. Come on, guys. Lorna, get your 2 cents. And what's his name? Tim. Like, do you have any preference? Everyday Witch. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Everyday Witch. So I guess, oh no, that's Knitting Yogi. You don't count twice. Barbie left. Anybody else? Just to see if we are like going with this one. Left. Okay. Okie dokie. This one goes back in the box. This one goes back here. And this one goes off the table. No preference, Tim. Okay, welcome, Morgan Greer. You see, look, we have a 50-50 bet. You know what? I already have this one now, and we will go with this one. But we can do Morgan Greer the next time. And guess what it is? It's exactly 12 o'clock here. I guess where you are could be different time, could be 11, or I think Barbie is in a 10 zone. So let's start right on the dot. We are starting with Cancer. Happy birthday, Cancer. We love you. We love the food, and it's a barbecue season. And let's enjoy another 2 weeks of you and just see how things progress. So it's a tie, Knitting Yogi, but since she was a little bit late, and I kind of like put in like, so I kind of like pull this one as well. So let's, yeah, we can do Morgan Green for doors. There you go. So that way everything is spoken for. Excellent idea, madam. Excellent idea. And by the way, congratulations to Knitting Yogi. She got her degree first and then a job, and that's freaking fantastic. So I actually want to do a little bit of shuffle with this one because I haven't used this. Actually, we did use it at this, I guess, for the monthly reading, but, or no, not for the monthly reading. We used it for the doors, and we used it for the individual one. So, and I'm going to put the card out for the next one. You can guys keep guessing. So this one is for what's coming next, and I'm just trying to see if I can make anything out of it, and I absolutely can't. So Cancer, ooh, Cancer, you're getting a whole bunch of stuff jumping out. So the first one is 9 of Cups, and then you have 3 of Pentacles and the Devil. So far so good, because 9 of Cups is about feeling content. There's like certain satisfaction. There is a certain pride in what you are guys experiencing, right? What I also see here is that you actually just want to be left alone. Do we have any Cancers here, or somebody who has a very strong Cancer in their own chart? If you don't know how to do your chart, like if you go in the description, I usually put, I think, a link so you can kind of like go there and check it. So the 3 of Pentacles, it's really interesting when it combines with the Devil, because Devil is kind of like when we get caught in doing the wrong thing. We might think it's wrong, but like we are maybe too deep in to get out, so we are persisting and continuing with this, and altogether we are just sinking deeper and deeper in poo-poo. And it's just like we are all kind of like invested in all of that in order to see the truth, right? And the Devil usually talks us into nonsense, talks us into shortcuts, we all would love to be really rich and beautiful overnight, and internet is full of pills that kind of like you just have to take this pill and your penis is like 20 inches and you're just Barbie doll the next day. And most of us realize this is not an easy path. It's something that needs to be worked on. Also, if you really want to attain this goal in the first place, right? So when the devil reverses, there is like that sobering time. It's that headache the morning after that we are going through. So maybe you, Cancer, you had trouble getting along with somebody. There is like something coming in the way of some collaboration. It almost looks like maybe you are I think that you're rejecting because the first card came through. You are coming in the power position. And so basically, even though you're rejecting, and like maybe this is it, like maybe somebody offered you a shortcut, maybe somebody offered you something really easy, but it came with, you know, this kind of whole catch attached, and you just didn't want to do it. And good for you, Cancer, because this shows morality, this shows integrity, this shows kind of like you kind of like wanted to have it right. Because Nine of Cups really indicates somebody who is happy in their own space. And the reasoning is like, if I'm happy, they're trying to make me more happy. And this more happy can cost me with resulting in unhappiness. It's a very good logical, really kind of like processing in all of that. So let me just see, I'm kind of like drawn to this gypsy kind of like thing to see, Lorna has Cancer rising, is she? Ooh, and this is kind of like for that's falseness for the devil. That's right. You're like, it could be friends. It could be that you have a group of friends, and like maybe we are going to a really strange time right now. I don't know if you guys noticed that we are closing doors and opening new ones. And for some people it's more profound, especially if you're very intuitive. It's literally telling you to let go. Like maybe many of us get really settled in our ways. We get older, we put an anchor down, and that anchor is kind of like stuck there. But this is a time to kind of like pull it up, fish it up, and sail into some other harbor with much different roses and much different kind of like attitudes. And for some people is like that easier, but transition is clearly happening. And anybody who in your life, it's kind of like so rude to say doesn't serve the purpose. Come on, Chris, good morning. Kind of like needs to go. They're just kind of like blocked, and if you don't block them, they will block you. It's going to be a really weird situation. It's happening to, oh, this one really wanted to come out and talk. An enemy, be careful. Somebody who is your friend is not a friend at all, and this is probably realization that somebody is continuously getting you in trouble. Somebody is really processing you in this particular way. So I'm so proud of you that you're like standing still, even if this means being alone. And it's kind of like so cute, like because you're Cancer, and look at this little crab coming out here, kind of like toying. So you're intrigued, you want to open up, but you're kind of like being very careful. So that's kind of like what happens. Oh my gosh, Lorna is saying, a co-worker told me to use spearmint for Wednesday, but I took my float. I'm glad I did. Yeah, because something like they're leading you down the garden path, if you wish. And I want to see Lenormand on the positive. Maybe that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do Gypsy, or the other Gypsy. This is called, this is Gypsy. Hungarian Gypsy, and this is just Gypsy. And I'm going to use Lenormand for the positive just to see what else can be added. And you have a bear, and there's like something about money over here. And hello, Kelsey, nice to see you. See, I goes early today. So bear talks about mother or father, like it could be like the family time, but bear can also be somebody overbearing. That can be a boss. That can be some kind of like money, because bear bear basically talks about protection. Mama bear really comes to mind. So maybe you're self-protective of yourself, you're watching your finances, and that's usually what we go through when we go through July transition. We kind of like look in our finances and we go, oh my gosh, I have to cut this, I have to cut this, I have to cut it. So you're kind of like weeding through, like pulling out the weeds. Oh, this is useless. You know how some of us just leave the things on, and subscription are so kind of like normal these days that, you know, we just end up overspending. So I really think you guys are really well positioned for the rest of your transition. Messages are really good, except you really need to be careful because not all your friends are, you know, that kind of a joke when the bird was flying to the south and all of a sudden the weather became cold and she just like dropped on the ground and just couldn't move because it was that cold. She couldn't fly anymore. As she was slowly falling asleep, hence almost dying, the cow passed by and the cow shat on her. And that manure, basically because it was warm, acted like a blankie and started to warm the bird, who kind of like came and revived and kind of like carved her way out and started to chirp. But all of a sudden from the bushes, the fox heard the chirping. She jumped in and ate the bird. So what is the moral of the story, right? Not everybody who shits on you is your enemy, and when you're nice and cozy, keep your mouth shut, kind of a thing, right? And that's kind of like what I see over here for you guys will be pretty much kind of like how you have to go. Don't go into big expressions, just kind of like follow what you want to do and how you want to do it. So new guesses, guys. Did they have anybody putting their hat in? What is the next one that we're going to have? I'm going to shuffle this a little bit and just see where we get with this. Nobody? Okay, well, nobody. I guess you're a little bit delayed behind me. So we have Scorpio. Barbie, do we have any news from you? Anything coming? Because it's just like we are expecting to hear, yay, kind of a thing. So we have Sagittarius, we have Scorpio, we have Aries. Chris, Tim, you're not guys putting your head in. I think this is the messages for everybody. Look, we have the Devil reversed and the Magician. This is really interesting combination. And again, we are either realizing we are in something kind of like falling into poo-poo and we have to get ourselves out, and we have ability and we will get ourselves out. So if anybody is sidetracking, which can talk about zillions of things. Could talk about people, could talk about not paying our bills on time. It can talk about not eating properly. This is kind of like a turnaround point that I see over here. Okay, so I do have here guesses, and the next one will be Gemini. Who's Gemini? Lorna, you're Gemini, aren't you? So Gemini is being the second one, and I'm going to pull the next one. Next, you can keep guessing, and I'm going to put Gemini timestamp, and let's start. Gemini, this one going to come out, and you're getting the Hermit reversed. Gemini is like you're subject to some kind of isolation that doesn't. Ugh, gosh. Are you Lorna Gemini? Why am I thinking you're Gemini? And you just said that you went through, you know, a loss of somebody, and I'm wondering if this is picking up those vibes over here. Barbie, July 26th, left a message about a month ago. Libra, guys, you have no idea how sweet Libras appear, but like when they are tired of BS, they will scream, they will shout. You will be really, really surprised. So So look at, guys, you have two major arcanas, and both of them are very, very strong. This is a God's arcana, it's reversed. So it's almost like ungodly, if you wish. Somebody might be stealing something from you, something doing behind your back. So this refers to gossip. This refers to something happening without you being completely aware, right, about it. But in this particular deck, it's a little bit modified because this person is actually in a crowd of people. So this is kind of like known. So it's almost like there are two different sides of the story over here, right? And the death talks about transition. So I also meditated on this card, and it's always, I have to mention the second thing because it's very common to say, oh, you know, somebody's taking away from you. But another thing that to me it's very, very strongly coming through, and also we have the full moon here, especially, so this is now connecting with emotions even though they are swords, and this is the moon in Aquarius. So just keep in mind there's like maybe something happening next month, because I'm talking about July and August, and that's when we have moon in Aquarius, and you really need to kind of like wonder about this because it's going to be time for finality of some sort. So what finality that would be? It's something that you probably know it's dying. Do you ever kind of like try to use a lawnmower? I have a gas one, and then you at one point you it just dies, right? So something that you are already aware that is not running smoothly, whether this is a personal relationship, an engine, a project, something is just not sitting well anymore. That is making you feel isolated, making you feel not accepted, making you feel kind of like out of place. That is really talking about severing it and allowing you to do it kind of like over, like it's do over. That is always some kind of regeneration. It's good when it's upright. I mean, good. It's kind of like put in perspective. Something has to stop. And this could mean that you, for example, a hypothetical situation, you're not happy at work, you're feeling that you are not progressing, you're not advancing your career, the coworkers are not forthcoming, so you're saying forget it, you're taking your stuff, you're leaving, and hence this basically signifies this new start. In relationships, this could mean that you might be in a relationship but you're feeling alone or lonely, and there is like maybe no need for you to even have exchange of words. I mean, you're Gemini, you're very talkative. When you guys stop talking, like the other person should know what time is it, and hence you're kind of like severing something. It's very, very interesting, right? Yeah, the death card, like Knitting Yogi pointed out, like, I mean, here we have one door is opening and one is closed. So you kind of like need to know, like generally they are teaching us, and it's very prevalent in North America. I mean, where I come from Croatia, and Slavic people are known for being very blunt, but that's how we are raised, to be very transparent, to be very direct, and everything here is like about packaging and filtering and everything, and it's frankly sometimes really just too much work, even communicating, almost like communicating with metaphors, right? But the whole idea is this, that you do know that something doesn't work anymore and you're just like out of there for one reason or another. So let me just see. I'm almost going to see this death as a positive over here, because I think you are making a decision about this. Yes, that's what I thought, Lorna, that you're Gemini sun. So let me see. The Hermit reversed. You're getting anger. Did you guys isolated yourself from some situation because something is irritating you, making you angry of some sort? And let me see the Six of Swords. Huh, let's just jump on that. This is a sweetheart. And here is the Widower. So I don't know if there was a loss. It can really indicate that, guys, you'll be suffering some kind of loss of a sort. Widower is like really interesting to me, because when we mourn, and we all mourn differently, right? I'm currently in the mourning, and I'm completely flat with my emotions, which also indicates depression. But some people mourn with crying a lot. Other people, I it's very individual. Like, it's what you see on television expected of you to ball your eyes. It doesn't really happen all the time. So for me, the widower or this kind of card is always somebody who finally pulls themselves together so they can present well to the society, because society is still shunning emotions and anything that is a female principle, right? Which to me is just horrible, and being ashamed of who we are programmed to be genetically is just ridiculous, right? But this can talk about some kind of regrets. Maybe you have been going an extra mile for somebody and that extra mile hasn't been returned. It is some kind of like loneliness over here, and there is like some kind of like sadness, and I really think this is just definitely some kind of separation, and maybe kind of like stages of separation that is really showing. This is telling me that it could be distancing from another person, but it can be seen as, with closing these doors, that somebody is entering here. It's absolutely possible to kind of like look at that way, but I actually did say that I'm going to look this one as a positive. So let me just get another card here, Lenormand, and we have the Mountain. So even though it's a positive, it's going to be a process. It's going to take a few months, and you will need to overcome certain challenges and certain obstacles to get to what you want. So keep this in mind and don't give up just because the obstacle is there, because this is just simply the process that you guys need to go through, and just the way it is. But you know, just keep on going on. All right, so Barbie's guessing with Sag. Any other guesses, guys, for the next one? Any other guesses? I'm shuffling in the meantime. Okay, lots of signs to guess. Aquarius. Okay, let me see. I saw the shuffling on Instagram, and wondering if this kind of like works, if they were just prying the cards to each other and they were somehow working, but I don't know if this is actually going to work like they showed. It doesn't. So Aries, Aquarius, Sagittarius, Scorpio. So let's see. Aquarius, Kylie is going to get her card. So you're going to get Morgan Greer. It's going to be the next one. Here, where did I put it away? Oops. Oopsie. Welcome, Lorna. Kylie. Tell me what Kylie needs to know at this stage. And you're getting a Page of Swords. Is this you, Kylie? I don't know, for some reason I think it's you. It's kind of like getting something out of your system, insisting on some answers, getting to the bottom of something, and somebody might find that you're a little bit prickly the way you're doing it, but you're Sagittarius, I'm Aquarius. It takes one to know one. We kind of like just talking about this, kind of like being really direct. You're kind of tired of somebody wasting your time, and you really want to get your answers. Hello, Anita. Long time no see. So Page of Swords is like insistence of things, and just be careful that you might be sidetracked by being told that you're like rude or prickly. You might want to camouflage or kind of like take a deep breath before asking your answers, but you're clearly demanding some answers. And this is like, why this, because that's crucial for some decision making that you need to make coming soon. So it's kind of like important, right? So we have, that was Aquarius, no? What was Aquarius? So Aqua people, we are getting our reading now. Let me just put the, boy, I'm so slow today. And putting the stamp here. So Aquarius. Aquarius, Aquarius. Ooh, we have all the cards. So we have Knight of Pentacles. Ooh, Four of Swords and Magician. Well, I'm feeling this way. Are you guys feeling this way? I had a few days sleeping 14 hours. It just like was, oh my God, the spring is over. Why am I sleeping again? So this is actually good. Knight of Pentacles to me is the ultimate Aquarius card. It's not even the swords. And this is talking to me about friendships. Kind of like friendships, in my opinion, develop slowly. I had few people in my life, and I'm pretty sure anybody can sympathize with this. Kelly, love it. No time for BS. Welcome. I like when things develop kind of like organically, and I had few people who kind of like demanded, well, you know, yes, you need to call me once a day or something. And eventually this happens that I talk to people kind of like more and more often, but it has to happen without forcing, because I find that whenever you force things, it's just like not, the balance of power is not there. And to me, Knight of Pentacles is that ultimate card that talks about taking it slowly, kind of like turning every stone, looking if this person would be helpful for you. We're not choosing friends in the same manner as we choose our lovers, right? But friends can have like a very stabilizing force in our life. Many people prefer lovers to friends. Of course, we Aquarians, we have a little bit different opinion. That's why Uranus is really kind of like tilted on the side and is being in a completely different direction. But also it shows sometimes that we are really strange friend ourselves. So everything is, these two are air and this is like earth. So earth and air is really good. It talks about stabilizing. Four of Swords talks about giving our thanks and resting. It's kind of like suggesting that we have been through something, that we maybe had kind of like relied on our friends, but now it's all this energy needs to kind of like dissipate, and hence we are doing that through sleep, because air signs, I would not interpret this the same, guys, just to keep in mind if the sign was like not in air, because different kind of like elements process these cards differently. So given that Aquarians are air sign, just like Libras and Geminis, we have this ability to kind of like be very active mentally, but we also need to kind of, it's like a laptop, like it gives you lots of information, but you have to charge it every so often, and the more information you process, the more frequent those charges will be. So it's very, very similar, and this is kind of like a charging time. And this is going to be really beneficial, because then we are entering into, you know what, now decide what you're doing, because you can do anything. I really like this, because if anybody's feeling that they're like a little down and out, this is a really talking about really exit coming out, right? So I'm going to look for Four of Swords, because clearly if we are taking this stand, and like even the spider is like making a net over here, this tells me that there was like some kind of hardship over here and something really, really going over here, right? So this is going to be all fidelity with the dog. And it's on the graveyard here, kind of like maybe Aquarians been through something that they need to process, because this is friendship, this is friendship. Maybe you have lost a friend, maybe you were hoping more from a friendship and now it's not coming through. And just like it has to happen naturally, we also cannot force it, and maybe it's realization that something that we hope for, it's not happening. So that's also a possibility. But clearly there is like some kind of loss, but it loss that it's fully accepted. There is like no mourning here, but there is, well, a little bit of it, but it's almost like a bittersweet kind of like realization of also somebody's essence, the impact that they made on our life, but also understanding that the life goes on. Now let me see additional message with the Magician over here is is the Tower. The Tower is talking about something that is maybe government run, that is organized. It can talk about hospital. It can talk about education, something being very formal. It can also talk about literally about high buildings or very, very tall people over here. So it's kind of like something gravitating toward, let's say, dealing with the government here, or dealing with something that needs to be resolved, I would say. So be careful if you have any documentation or something that needs to be done, because this also talks about ambition and authority, but it can talk about, you know, arrogance and bureaucracy. So if you need to overcome certain things, if somebody's in your way, I have a feeling it's going to be, you're going to find a really, really good way to go forward. This is all about rules. Magician can create anything, but it looks like you have to do it within the rules. So you're going to find a way how to do it. This can also be a little bit isolating, like the lady in the tower with his braids coming down comes to mind. I really have to say it's really, really interesting, right? I don't know why, like I'm really going toward hospitals here for some reason. That can be courthouses as well, so keep that in mind, guys, as well. All right, this goes back. Do we have any guesses? We do. Bravo for taking this initiative. It'll be Cecilia. Sorry. Hi, Cecilia. We have a new person. Barbie said there will be 2 times doors to take yes or no. So, okay, Cecilia, what Barbie explained, that each in between the readings, I pulled a card. You can guess which sign this is. If you guess, you get 1 card just for you. But after 6 signs, Barbie is going to call doors, which means I give 3 cards and you can pick one deck and get your card. I just don't do privates here. You can book a private, but this is just an idea for you. And keep in mind that when you're on live reading, you don't have to wait for your sign or for your ascendant. Every single reading will actually possibly have a seed or something you need to know. And that's kind of like why it's very beneficial to be on live. And also please like and share, and not all the messages will be for you either, because that will be kind of selfish. But anyhow, oh, I did put Aquarius. So let me see the guesses that we have. Ooh, icons. Ooh, good guess. Completely forgotten about that. Thank you. So let's go next. It's going to be Virgo or Scorpio or Aries. And let me see. Anybody else guessing? Anybody else guessing? Anyone else guessing? Ooh, it's going to be Leo. Let me see. I'm going to take a next one for the next round, and just to see if anybody guessed while I find the icons. And for some reason, they don't want to open up. Oh, there we go. Let me just check back if anybody guessed Leo. No, nobody put Leo. So sorry, no takers this round. But let me put a stamp and let's start on Leo. All right, Leos. Oh, Leos. Did you Barbie guess? No, this you're announcing Leo. So Leo, it came like this. I guess I have to open it like this. So we have a 2 of Cups, but we have a Strength. Very weird, because I opened up and saw the Strength and 2 of Cups reversed. So it's a relationship with somebody where there is no commitment, but there's like still a lovely relationship happening over here. And you guys got lots of cards, and you're getting the Hangman reversed. Oof, like all of the Leo cards. So it's a Leo card, it's a Leo card. Everything is here talking about it. So this one is the key card, not only because it's the middle card, which I always kind of like, I always treat cards like a mountain when they come up in this configuration. But, and this is really interesting, like this is the sun, and they are not the highest, this one is the highest. So what is saying basically that outward things that we see outward is not the most important message that you're receiving here. The most important thing here is this. The hangman is God, and God is saying, oh my goodness, these people, they just are not listening, and like, which part they cannot get. It is so easy. Do this. I wrote them that freaking 10 commandments. That's all you need to do. So, well, you're always modifying kind of stuff, right? And this is that's all I'm asking. And it's basically realization that people do whatever they want to do, and even kind of like taking pride and claiming they're doing it. And that's kind of like that falsity, if you wish, that is really showing up. And I don't know if this is relating to somebody in your life. Do we have any Leos over here? Somebody who is there with you, they're celebrating with you, like you might have some kind of like, they call it friends with benefits. I hate that expression because these friends are just never friends. But this is really also interesting that these two cards are mirroring each other, but this one is the sun. So which means that you're coming to some kind of clarity of thought. You're coming to understand certain things for yourself. Also, guys, very soon you're coming into your own birthdays, which is going to make you feel very powerful as well. It's taking care of the details and looking in what things you need to do. Eight of Pentacles is like almost like finalization of some sort. You're getting everything ready. The table is being set, and only the food needs to yet to be served, which is not there, right? So the broom is there. It just needs to be taken if you need to get something else. But to me, generally, this talks about the devil is in the details kind of a card. So this is also one of the key cards, because now I have two eights. And eights are about commitment, and eights are about something karmic, that's something that resonates as well. So let me just see this, because there is like some immorality in the process, which is really clearly immorality according to God, not according to me. I don't judge situation. We all found ourselves in all kinds of like weird combinations. But let me see, what is this hangman here really talking about here. The hangman is, oh my God, constancy. Somebody's watching. Like this is just sending goosebumps down my spine, like seeing this card right after basically explaining that the higher power is kind of like watching over us and worrying that we are not doing the right thing. And that's Safi showing up. Hello, you want to say hi? You want to say hi? Do you want to remind everybody to like? Do you want to? Do you love me? Not so much. She's gone on the window. So that's interesting. Let me see the Strength reverse, because the Strength reverse talks about you knowing very well that something is not binding, and you're still sticking around because for some reason it's comfortable for you, and you're like talking yourself that this is kind of like working well. And it says loss. Maybe you want somebody to commit, but they're not committing, and you're continuing. But in any case, I just don't see you guys being unhappy. You're just not going with this big moral code, with this kind of like big karmic proclamation. But altogether, I think this is all fine. This is Matrix, if you're hearing little moo, little, he has like really sissy meow. Let me see the sun. I want to see, oh, garden. It's going to be lots of activity, lots of people, lots of preparation. And this Eight of Pentacles. I don't know, maybe you're severing something. Maybe you're like allowing yourself to kind of like get some other people in your life. Somebody from the past. There's like something either that has been going on for a while. You might be a person who is salt and pepper, who could be a medical profession, who could be bold. It's something white about this person. I'm not talking about white skin. It could be any kind of like professional white coat. It could be chemist of some sort, but this is also very sexual. So again, it makes me think this is some kind of like gamble, and that gamble is just not progressing what it is, and maybe it's realization. Maybe you're opening yourself up to the new people, and hence the final accounting is saying, well, you know what, it just doesn't make sense. I just don't want to stay in the situation. So you are going through, as I said, this period is about the process of regeneration, and you are doing that on the base of personal relationships, and in particular one that is kind of like really important for you, and that's kind of like what it works. Lynn is a Leo. She's not here. Oh, okay. Sally is a Leo as well, and I don't think she is here today because we had a 3 weeks pause, and maybe people are completely confused about it. So guesses, guys. What is the next one? Get your chance to get your card and go with this. Well, I'm reshuffling this. Scorpio. I'm pretty sure Chris is going to put Scorpio. He's consistent with that. If you guys want constantly that this is the same sign, well, it's much easier actually if you tell me each and every time, because otherwise I need to scroll. Hello? Hello? You want to jump here? Come. Come on, Tix. Come. Come on. Come on. Come on, kitty, kitty. Hi. Hi. Yeah, can you hear the sissy meow? For such a big boy, that's a very, very sissy meow. Hey, why don't you go and sit on the window over there? Yeah, go up. Go up. It's just too many cats on the table. You, Safi, go up too. Go, 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 go. Go up, up, up. 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 Oh my goodness. My little aquarium pussycat. Okay, you have Scorpio, Aries, Scorpio, Libra. Let me see. You're back. Which one is your guess? Which one is your guess? And we have Capricorn. Well, again, Matrix is rarely here. And I'm surprised that kittens didn't start to show up. So this is for the next one. And let's put a Capricorn icon. I cannot see anything, pussycat. Anything. See, it's my place is becoming a little bit weird, especially here in my workroom, because I think the older cats need my reaffirmation that I am still loving them and dealing with them, that I love them, that kind of like it's all good. While what is going on out here? While the younger ones are just playful and doing their stuff. So it's a little bit of this hierarchy reset that is really happening, which is a little bit intense, I really need to say. So now something opened up here, and I cannot see for some reason. Oh gosh, I cannot see the timing over here. Okay, now I see it. It's just freaking weird. Did it go away? It did now. Just couldn't even take the timestamp to kind of like even define it. All right, I'm not even sure these timestamps are accurate, because timestamps that you get is just a little bit delayed. So it is. It was time for Earth sign. That's right. So we had Gemini, we had Cancer, we had Leo, we had Aquarius. Almost like all these flighty signs being like ahead. So Capricorn. 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 I was just watching a video about a donkey wanting to play with goats, and goats didn't really like the company. It was really, really cute, and human mommy explained to donkey, well, they don't want to play. You cannot force them. And like donkey was so happy, wanting to kind of like have the new friends. It was really hilarious looking at that. So let's see. Capricorns, you have Tree of Pentacles. You have, is that a new one? I think I did. Is that a new one? I just have to see that. Yeah, it's a new one. And now which one is this? And you'll be able to figure it out, because my vibrations will be sending you this information. I don't know, Kylie. I don't know. She's asking about this transmission, July the 4th. This July 4th was unfortunate day in the US this time around. It just sucks. I think this COVID, I don't know if you guys agree, but with many people needing to be isolated for such a long time, and it's really not natural for people to be isolated and feeling really and also then we have these quote-unquote influencers with their freaking selfies. It just probably made people feel really more lonely, because it's not only the US. I mean, in Toronto, people are just put on fire on the buses and randomly punched on the subway station. This is just crazy. It was like never such behavior. Imagine the guy poured gasoline and put a person on fire on a bus. It's just like freaking shocking. So I just like think that people who already have been mentally unstable are even more wobbly at this stage. So Capricorn, this doesn't apply on you. It applies on you. Good news. They have good news. Three of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles. Something about maybe you're starting a new venture financially. Maybe there's a new project. Maybe there's like a new order. But that's something new that is coming. Will depend on other people. In fact, 2 more other people. It's going to grow to be really, really big. You're going to reach the maximum you can reach with this. So this can also talk about family growing and maybe getting a son or a grandson. Kind of like tend to think more sons than daughters, but it could be enlargement of the family. It could be family gathering, but something about kind of like connecting family and talking about the roots. But in terms of romance, there's like something weird, because the threes are really dominating, which talks about Trinity, and it talks about you feeling that one of those pillars is not really working for you. So maybe you have a person in your life who probably wouldn't be a good fit with your family. So hence it's a painful realization of this is what's happening, and that's kind of like what you're going through, right? The Three of Swords is always, somebody stabbing us through this heart. And what is this saying? Journal. Somebody just left this. We can see even the indentation over here. But like when is Three of Swords reversed, then these swords are being pulled, and it's still painful when you do it, but you pull it and it's kind of over. So there is like some kind of like cycle, because I'm seeing this here, that you're all in your work, all in the family. You're really kind of focused on things that work, but there's like something almost like in a kind of like background. It's like a shadow that comes forward probably in your lonely moments when you're there with your thoughts, but it's something that is really healing. You actually are responsible for pulling these thorns out and allowing kind of like the fresh air to heal it, or allowing interaction kind of like to happen. It almost looks like this could be also very secretive, because the swords can be very kind of like inner directed. So that's very important here to look. So let's check the Gypsy on Three of Swords here. I didn't know that CERN got activated. I was like really watching lots of science videos these days. Yeah. So Chris is Capricorn. Is this like talking about your Scorpio friend? That this is like still a spot that is healing, and it's kind of like feels stuck on you. It's not really something that is overwhelming, because Three of Swords upright is overwhelming, but it's present. It's kind of like in the background, but it does talk about something that was big or has potential to be really, really big. So that is kind of like what's happening. But here, let me see this Ten of Pentacles to give you maybe more information. maybe more good news and end up on a positive. Ooh, end up on a positive with a coffin. So you're bringing something to a maximum and then you're killing it. So you're starting with something, you're going to reap financial benefits, but it looks like it's just like, it's not going to be cyclical. It's going to be one time kind of a thing, but it's going to bring good financial rewards. But clearly I looked at this card, not in this one. It will make more sense here. This is ending, but after this, you're not going to continue with these clients. So maybe keeping this in mind, you can quote them accordingly, not to quote people with giving them return rate and whatnot, as that's not going to happen. All right, guys, throw your hat in. Which card do you think it will be next? And if you didn't like it, please do like it. Shuffle a little bit while you're guessing. So we have Scorpio, we have Libra. So this is the last one before the doors. And in the doors, you guys can ask your questions. So we have Scorpio, we have Libra. Okay, I'll be opening this card. I'll be opening this card soon. No more hats. And it is Kelsey, who is the winner this time around. So let me just remove this little kind of like sign here for a second. Go back to Kelsey. All right, Kelsey. Good for you. And this is after the doors that we have here. Kelsey, what Kelsey needs to know right now? What Kelsey needs, this one wants to come out, the one on the top. It just got stuck. Ooh, you're getting justice. Kelsey, this is a karma card, and it's a very powerful card. It is 11. So 11 is a higher vision. 11 sometimes, I don't know, I'm 11. My name is 11. My birthday is 11. So 11s are not allowing you to take any shortcuts. And of course, being human, we do take shortcuts anyway, and then you come back and you're being punished. So, but ultimately, doing the right thing, you get awarded more massively than a regular person. Just because being 11, you're very agile, you have ability to kind of like make it much easier on you, but making something like, I mean, step by step is really important. This also talks that you're going to get exactly what you need. Maybe you have some expectations currently in your life, and these expectations are X, but you might not end up getting X. You might be getting X plus something or X minus something, simply because this card is deciding what is right for you, and then you get this. It was the story connected to this card that a father died and he has left inheritance 50-50 to the two sons. So one son was very rich, another son was very poor. So the rich son was like really complaining, why didn't he leave everything to me? The other guy, she just loses everything. He's not able to kind of handle the money. So everything should come to me, right? And the poor son said, like, what sense does that make? Everything should come to me because I have nothing, right? So the judge presided and he said, you know what? Both of you have your own lives. Both of you have your own attitudes. So to the rich one is going to kind of like add something on that he has ability to maybe use this money to enrich other people, while the one who didn't have the money, this can use to be recovered. So ultimately ended up being 50-50 and making that as a decision. So that's going to be something, and it's a positive thing that is going to happen. So, mesdames et messieurs, maintenant c'est le temps pour nos doors, nos portes. Now it's the time for our doors. So let's me close this here. And you guys think of the question. Think of something you want to have it answered in a yes or no fashion. Keep in mind, yes or no is very tricky because it takes clarification and reclarification. but it can give you some general idea. I'm going to create two little kind of like bundles, the doors, left, center, and right. And for the question, you pick one, and it can give you the information about that. So I have the first one out. I have the second one out. Ooh, and I have the third one out. But one more came out, so actually I will have 4 doors over here this time around. So let me go back to the screen and put the stamp over here while you guys are thinking through it. And you can guys guess the very next one over here as well while we are doing that. And let's see what were your guesses. So number 3, like you actually don't have number 4 this time around. I'm going to have a sip of my coffee. Ooh, look at this. I have a couple of blue jay coming here to visit. They're so adorable, actually. They really sing well. So number 3, anybody else, guys? What are you guessing? Because this one really, really wanted to come out. Ooh. So I'm starting. If you guys pick this door, number 1, the answer for you is you're just too depressed, or you're too lethargic, you're too flat to even obtain what you want, because there's like a little effort from you that is really needed. And look at this, all cups are getting emptied. So even if somebody's helping you, even if somebody comes through to you, you will always find that this is like not sufficient, and this is not enough. So it is very, very important to kind of like realize this. So I would say no, but I would say no because it's just not the right time, you know? It's all there is. Maybe postpone it until later when you maybe feel in a better place, kind of a thing. So the door number 2 is 7 of Swords. Maybe like for people who picked this, maybe you've been going through a situation that felt like that it's hardship, that is really hard, that somebody is benefiting from your own labor, that somebody's taking away things from you, and you're kind of like finding ways around this. So this is neither yes nor no. It is really talking about a lot about repositioning and seeing at the same situation completely through different lens. So if you thought somebody's great, maybe you're going to see that somebody's not great at all, and start seeing situation differently, which is going to make you make a decision in a different way. And that's kind of like what is needed before you get something. Did we have Sagittarius reading? Shoot, we didn't. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, okay, sorry. We are going to have 7. Thank you, Barbie, for... Thank you, Barbie. Okay, this is the next one. Oops, I completely forgotten about it. I just did Kelsey, and I completely forgotten about it. And then we have the door number 3 is like a yes. If you guys ask about relationship or interaction or positivity, this is all coming your way. People will understand you. You will be accepted and cherished and valued. It's all freaking positive over here. And then door number 4, this is resounding yes. This is like something that has to happen for you. It's no way that is not going to be a positive answer, and it's also something karmic. It's a karma card that is going to make something happen as a result to you. My apologies to Sagis. I almost like just decided to skip your sign. Thank you. Thank you, Barbie, for keeping my head straight. Let me just put Sagi over here, and let's do Sagi here. So Sagittarius. I was thinking I'm really doing good on time. Let me put your timestamp over here, but I am just where I should be. So Sagittarius. So we have the Empress, the 5 of Pentacles, and a Page of Swords again, as Kylie said. This is her. Sorry, this is the Emperor, not the Empress. Oh, it maybe feels that somebody's taking control out of your hand. Maybe somebody's feeling very overpowering your life. It could be verbal clashes with people in your thing. And it's almost like going to be fight for some kind of like, almost like survival. Like Five of Pentacles is really interesting card. It talks about you being an outsider. It talks about always feeling that somebody's better than you, and hence it gives you this really yucky, bitter taste, kind of like attitude over here. But this can be a boss, this can be a job, this can be like you wanted a promotion and promotion is not coming, and then you tell them what you think, or maybe you quit. That's kind of how that can really play out. Or this can mean that there is like argument of some sort, or that somebody is micromanaging here, and you're just like really feeling stuck in a situation. But like in a sense, every single situation leads to kind of like a rebelling over here of some sort, right? So let's see, Maggie forgot to let go the arrow, and off they went. So let me see. Oh, welcome, Aline. Appreciate it. It's going to be one more segment with the door, so stick around. I want to see this Page of Swords, and I want to see this. It's the officer. Somebody, this could be a boss. It's somebody who's really talking about the rules. It's that proverbial soldier, but the officer is higher than soldier. Jealousy. Do you have somebody in your life who's jealous of you? I don't feel this is like proverbial lover's jealousy. I feel this is more connected to somebody being jealous of what you have, which doesn't have to be financial. Maybe it's somebody's even well off and they feel jealous of you because of, let's say, having a person in your life. So it's kind of like what they say, money doesn't buy you happiness, kind of a thing that is really playing over here, right? But this is also talking about some kind of secrets and somebody keeping things away from you. It's kind of like somebody who is armed with this freaking big sword. So it's a very kind of like vital, it's masculine, but it's also kind of like intention. It's also a posturing, if you wish. What I always find really weird about military, where it takes really special mindset to go in that direction, because you sign to have no rights. You have to be a freaking machine. You're being told to kill, you kill. You cannot actually apply your own judgment. And even though we have the movies and talking about the judgment being really important, technically the definition of a job is that you are a tool, right? Maybe this is talking about defending yourself from the outside. This can also talk hiring a lawyer, for example, to doing this. Maybe you have somebody who is very protective of you, who maybe steps in a situation. But there is a clearly conflict over here, conflict with somebody in authority. That's kind of like without saying. This is not a great card, but I'm going to put Lenormand for this Emperor over here. And this is the Stork. So it is a transformation. It is a change. There is like some change taking place. I don't know. Do we have any Sagittarians here? This can talk about moving guys as well. And Kylie, I don't know. Maybe you're going to tell your boss to F off because you're leaving and you really want to burn this bridge. Because there was like something here. Stork is a really good card, but it's like it's kind of like being mixed here with the Emperor. Emperor reversed to somebody who is in a bad mood and who has a freaking gun. So one of those shooters, right, that go around but the Stork is at least saving grace. So there is like some change or flexibility kind of like attached to that. But this is like transformative card very much, right? So really keep in mind that this can also talk about you're realizing that you need new people or new friends in your life, right? So it could be something about your children as well, because the Stork is connecting to the babies as well. So keep in mind that it's going to be a little bit of a catharsis in your next couple of months. and you will get yourself involved in some kind of like kerfuffle here. I kind of like see that very, very clearly. So tempting cat. No, it's almost like it's not been tempting, it's going to happen. So hello, Jenny. Summer here is like kind of like weird, guys. We have 3 days great, or even worse, like 1 day great, 1.5 day great, and then rain. So the next week is going to be on a coldish side. It's just going to be about 20 degrees. I don't know what it is, 60, 65, something like that. Which I don't mind. It's better than, you know, better than 30 for sure, but it's not anything to kind of like write home about. Okay, guys, what is the next guess? Let me see if we have any winners for the next round. So we have Pisces, Scorpio, Libra, Virgo, Taurus, and Aries. So it should be getting easier. Scorpio. Okay. Anything else? Going fantastic. Oh my goodness. Why the summer cannot last 9 months? And then we have 1 month of snow, so we get this like feeling of snow, and the other 2 months of, actually I don't even need spring. Like spring and summer it can be bundled up, kind of like a package deal. And then 2 months of fall and 1 month of winter, it will be freaking ideal. And summer never getting over, like, I don't know, 80. Like, this is the maximum. That would be perfect. So, okay, so we have a Scorpio and we have Aries. And I am opening up. And I think we have Libra. Libra. That's people who guessed Aries. You were very close, actually, because that's the same axis, right? So that's where we are. So let's, sorry, what did I say? Which one is this? Libra. And I'm putting the stamp in Aries. So I guess my brain just stopped working officially. Officially? This is happening kind of like a thing. Like when you deal with people who have dementia, all of a sudden you find yourself stuttering. All of a sudden you are kind of like not able to like put a sentence, and you're like, oh no. It's just like using a child vocabulary all the time, and then you realize, oh no, I can be on the brink of being myself in that position. So Libra, oh, you're getting jumpers. So this is a Page of Wands, and then you have a Page of Swords. So they're both children, and pages to me are very clearly close like aces as well. So whew, I know that what's her name, Barbie is Barbie is Libra. Barbie will be pissed. So Page of Wands is talking about enthusiasm, going in a different direction, but Page of Swords is like what I was talking about, turning into tornado. Where is the sign? I have to change this, I guess, from Sagittarius to Libra. So something is not going to go along the way you expected, because it's starting with aggravation and starting with demanding lots of answers, asking lots of questions, and people finding you annoying. But you want to know, like, I'm pretty sure, like, now when I was calling for my kitties to be neutered, like, they're giving me piecemeal prices. Can you give me an invoice with everything is there? Why do I have to figure out from 14 emails? And then they give me the estimate, which is wrong. And I said, can we go through that together? And I'm pretty sure they found me very annoying, but I just wanted to get something on the same page. And that kind of like really reminds me over here that you were looking, that you have been pushed left and right, and you really want to go straight, and you're always sidetracked in different directions without getting anything concrete. But this is going to be quote-unquote executive decision. This is you guys for sure. You're making it really clear to someone what your expectations are, and they are going to hear you not being very happy. You're going to be expressing that really, really without choosing really words. Thank you, Kylie. I just changed it. So let me just see. Love. So some infatuation, it doesn't have to necessarily be a partner. That's just so hard to utilize unless you're traveling somewhere to see somebody, and then there is like a love, I guess, argument over here. That is possibility to look at in that kind of like situation over here. This is a really difficult combination. Let me just get one more over here. Love and marriage. Love and marriage. Was that how that song was going? And let me just get Lenormand here. I'll show right now, like maybe you guys in a relationship, and maybe like this all applies to relationship. For some reason I was thinking Barbie, and I was thinking about her legal process, but this kind of makes sense that he is combined with the crosswords. It's kind of like, okay, in which direction do I go? Do I stay with this person? It could be that there is a younger person in your life who seems to be kind of like a possibility, and hence we do have like this journey and possibility of this journey coming forward. This is like a writer in Lenormand, which always talks about something, but somebody might be too much to handle, or there are too many questions that are coming to mind. And it's interesting that they're both turning each other backs. So it could be an older woman and younger man, kind of a combination. So the love is there, but kind of like almost like that this is a bundle deal for you, Libra, and you, Libra, are guided by Venus. So for you, this comes intrinsically kind of like close love and marriage. Because like it kind of reminded me of Married with Children. It almost like sounds like there's like one person so much more mature than the other one in the situation, that maybe this is why you're not seeing the future with this kind of combination. It is really possible. Or on the other hand, can also mean that you're like really insisting, if this cannot go there, then why to bother? It's just kind of like ridiculous to look in this direction. So I don't know which one it is, guys. You need to pick given the situation in your life. So is that the green person vomiting, Barbie? I cannot tell with my stigmatism that far. So let's see. 11:11. Where is this? Like you're 2 hours behind me. Here it is like 1:11. So we always pick about the same time. So guys, I didn't pull another one, but you can start guessing. Let me just pull another one. Actually, two Kylie and an older one trying. Interesting. Which card is the third reverse card? It was Queen of Swords reversed. That's what it was. Which, as you know, Queen of Swords is... So this is the woman who been through a lot. So she does know instinctively, not so much intuitively, that will be Queen of Cups, instinctively what's not going to work. So it just like it takes like, I mean, microsecond to make a decision, right? So generally she knows that she has been scorned and put down, and she knows that she has lots of scars, but she healed all of these scars. She's living with them, but they're still there, they're still present, right? So trauma is over, but she lives life with memories. So when Queen of Swords reverses, these wounds are opening, and she is lashing out, and she's like, how many times I need to tell you this? For goodness sake, we've been through it. That's kind of like a mood of Queen of Swords, where it is like you're stepping on their tail and you get it, right? It's just like when she's not able to be empathic with another person. Generally she's not very empathic, because like when somebody has been through such a kind of like a ringer, like they kind of like process things differently, but they are very efficient versus empathic. So empathy takes time and healing, where like efficiency is like really beneficial when you have fire. It's not time to kind of hug somebody and say, oh, you know what, it's all going to be fine. No, it's time to save somebody. And that's kind of like where the attitudes really differ. So that would be for Libra. So guys, what are your guesses for the next one? Hello Matrix. Hello Safi. What is it? Two of you are going everywhere together. It's so cute. Okay, do we have any guesses? My love, she speaks of. Queen of Swords. You're welcome, Kelsey. Nobody, plenty of fair dinkum Aussie fellas. St. Louis, that's right. Okay, guys, I'm not having anybody throwing the hat in, so nobody wants to even give it a guess what's going on here. Oh, look at that really Safi tail. It's hilarious. That I'm just seeing right now. I'm happy alone right now, though. Ooh, I am just so happy alone right now, guys. It just kind of like when you go through so many relationships, and I had like more than my share. It's just like this constant, kind of like negotiation over everything. Is just getting really sometimes annoying, right? Okay. So we have Pisces, we have Scorpio, and we have Aries, but we have Kylie. Kylie is like drum roll, like really, really good today. So let me see. Kylie gets her thing first, and then let's not forget, I just don't move on. So Kylie, sooner or later it'll be Scorpio. Yeah. You know, Aquarians are very pragmatic. So let's say I'm going to give you something about me. I have 50 relationships, and out of this 50 didn't work out. So then what is my chance of having a successful relationship? Minimal or none, kind of a thing. And you're wondering, but I know what is for sure. Heartbreak is for sure. Absolutely for sure. So is it even a good idea to go in this direction? You go, you know what? I really like friendships. Why don't you stick to that one? Kyla, this card really wanted to come through. So, oh, really in yoga, like I always see you as very moderate, but that would be really nice. That's your Aquarius rising, I guess. I absolutely can be Queen of Swords, and both up and down, depending on the person. Sometimes I'm purposely Queen of Swords reverse because some people need to kind of like, you need to bare the teeth in order for them to learn the lesson. But generally, as I'm getting older and mellowing down, I am trying to eradicate this entirely. So Kylie, this is the card for you. Getting 10 of Wands. You're blocking your way of something because maybe you have lots of coals in a fire. Maybe you're dealing with lots of issues and all of them seem to you kind of like equally important, or maybe you're getting scatterbrained over things that need to be done. I suggest organizing yourself, figuring out your priorities and moving down that list, and from 1 to whatever it is, 9, 10, 100, whatever it is, and start clearing this list. Because this talks about taking too much and not being able to accomplish anything. And that's why it's suggesting that it's better to go kind of like in a more moderate or slower direction, and that is going to end up in success. And that is really, really important over here. So that was Pisces, and I guess the Pisces goes next. And let's not forget to put your stamp over here, and let's put your pretty sign here for Pisces. Alrighty. Pisces. You're welcome, Kylie. Hi, Cecilia. Cecilia, we're going to have soon Doors. Doors is a segment where, you know, I pull 3 cards and you can pick one of these cards, and that way you can get your answer. Yeah, you forgot yourself, Libra. Pisces. Oops. What is it? Pisces are not communicating? My two kittens are Pisces. March 2nd, 2022. Lots of... It's too bad they're not February 2nd. Then it will be all freaking twos. Okay, Pisces, you're getting the first card. Ugh. It's Seven of Swords. This one wanted to come out. And it is the Devil reversed. So, yeah, again, you're tired of somebody in your... Oh, this one wants to come out. You're tired of somebody in your life. Like, as I said, these messages I felt like when I meditated in the morning would be about transformation, would be about realizing what is important to us and what works, and finding this a newfound self-esteem and walking away from things that are damaging or not beneficial to who we are. Kind of like, if you wish, respecting ourselves and going in that direction. So Seven of Swords is like about taking, like grabbing, right? And it's just maybe coming back for one more kind of like a time, and then it is just realization sinking that certain things cannot go on as they have seen, right? And Seven of Swords is something that is culminating, and maybe it's already brewing, and it's going to really culminate somewhere in August. If somebody can look it up, when is full moon in August, when is that, like, I mean, in moon in Aquarius, that's where you're going to have this really, really exposed. There is like an end of relationship, I really strongly feel at the time, but that relationship was not beneficial for you in the first place. And it could have the elements of codependency, it could have somebody gaslighting you, it could have that you were made to be the crazy one, and like it might also mean that you're leaving a whole bunch of people and you're kind of questioning everything around you in the situation. By doing that, you're then entering this phase, which is Page of Wands, which is kind of like feeling relieved of this burden and having this will and energy, just like it's going to feel this whole weight has been lifted off your shoulders, and having this energy and will to move forward and kind of like explore different things. Or you might meet somebody younger also who is going to be almost like somebody you look upon, and like you just realize that, hey, you know, I got older and I need to emulate this spirit, otherwise I am just letting myself go emotionally, energetically, and this is kind of like giving you this new direction. So let's just see good and bad over here. Cecilia, you're a Sagittarius, okay? There are 3 signs left: Aries, Taurus, Virgo, and Scorpio. 4. So we have Scythe, cutting the garment. This can talk about divorce, guys. It can. And let me see what is else here. Yeah, like it's somebody kept hurting you in love, and you felt that love conquers everything. Man, this is really negative, and I'm sorry, I'm reading the cards, and this is devil and misfortune, but devil is reversed, and it's just like maybe if you're looking for the opening, the things will be repaired, and you are putting a lots of energy, and I just like I see finality, and I see realization of all of these invisible cords, and how much you have been pushed in a situation, and like there is a release. Like he's taking the very, very little thing with him, but oh my god, like I mean, there is like enormous like energy and freedom that comes with that. So I really hope this this doesn't discourage you, and this kind of like gives you that needed energy, enthusiasm, and belief that things will actually get better if you leave the situation, which is just not good for you. And no matter which situation you are, whether you're financially dependent or not, because this can talk about somebody dangling finances around you, this tells me that it could be even the business, something that you start, which is going to make you really, really enjoy your newfound, let's say, freedom and a new path in life. So that's interesting. Okay, so we have how many guesses? Is this the last one? I think Is it? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I think so. So, what are the guesses? Sagittarius, Scorpio, Sagittarius, guessing Aries next. Well, you can't have it, Kyle. You can only have one because this is just the last one in guesses. The rest is really, really easy, right? So let's see. You're getting Cancer. Nobody cared about Cancer? Nobody cared about... Oh, we cannot get Cancer. We already had Cancer. So, there we go. Scorpio. Aries, knitting yogi got it this time. Okay, so let me remove the fluff from the signs. And so let me go back. Where am I? Here. So, knitting yogi. And Kylie. And Kylie, we have two. We have two winners. Well, Scorpio will eventually show up unless they're like not in my little kind of like things. So let me see. Knitting yogi. What does she need? Oh, this is really interesting. It was like, I don't know if you've seen it. It was like falling like this and it was like spinning, 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 and it turned around. You're getting the magician. Like you can set your plate. You can create your own magic. You have everything you need. You know what to say, you know what to do, you know, like, I mean, how to make it spicy, and you know how to make it work. This is freaking amazing. So as above, so below, like, make sure you're making, like, set up really, really high goals, because now you have a push and you have all the tools to kind of like be moved in the direction where kind of like you can be. So just allow your dreams to be much bigger dreams. So Kylie, you are getting Knight of Cups. Ooh, that can be romance. It can be somebody giving you sweet words, even reading poetry, maybe even roses. Well, I really have to admit that when I see roses these days, I more or less see them like an icon that somebody will sending roses because it's much cheaper version than going to the store. But this is like something gentle, something loving. It could be a summer romance. It doesn't have to be necessarily lasting, but it does show the possibility of a process which can actually really work properly. So 2 straight months of cold showers, still a bit dread each time before turning on water. You're talking about the draw in California, or you're talking about oh no, you're talking about cold showers. Oh, I had really lower back pain, and in that lower back pain I just couldn't do my cold showers. But do you really do cold? Because when I did cold, it was just really difficult. I could only be like minute or minute and a half. So I started warming them up. They're still colder, but they're not freezing cold. But yeah, they kind of like cause this dread. But like, I mean, I always feel energized. I always feel better as a result. It was just this little gap where I probably felt that I needed a little bit more warm. I really think it's really beneficial, but I would not be able to be 10 minutes under it. Anybody else doing the cold thing? Oh, Cecilia is a Leo rising. So we'll see. So this is, what did I say? Aries. It was Aries going next. It looks like we are going to finish on time after all. Aries. 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 Oops. We have Wheel of Fortune. The luck is on your side, and you have the Chariot reversed. You need to come back to something. You got lucky somewhere, but that something is catching up with you. Oh, it's 6 of Cups. Something you have to return back in the past. And almost like, it's weird, I had this like flash coming before my eyes, as if you kind of like really thought you conquered something. Let's say you got a job, or you accomplished certain situation, but it's going to turn out that nothing is carved in stone, nothing is done, and you have to go back and rework it. The Chariot is coming back from the battle, and it needs to kind of like address something. But this is still very positive. This is still allowing you to kind of like ride this way of positivity of some sort. But let's check Lenormand on this one. The full moon in August is on the 11th. Okay, so the 11th is for very important of August for all of you who in your reading had Seven of Swords. Just keep this in mind because we had lots of the Seven of Swords this time around. Yeah, that's right. It's Sturgeon Moon. Like, it's always the worst name for the moon. Mango strawberry. It sounds so good. So, Hungry Ghost Moon. Well, they have like those entities. Hungry Ghost is usually going in the weak spot, isn't it? Like, I mean, Kylie, Knitting Yogi can probably better explain it. So let me see this Wheel of Fortune. You're getting the book. Something that you know that is brewing. A book is closed. It's kind of like a knowledge that needs to be obtained of some sort, but it's still not available. But keep in mind, these are two major arcanas as well. So you might be dealing, guys, with Cancer. You might be dealing with Sagittarius, but you also might be dealing with Aquarius. It's also a slight possibility of a Scorpio that is involved in the situation here. So keep this in mind. Or maybe even a Leo that can show. So we have a marriage here, and then we have a letter. I know what this means for me because my brother is Aries, but let me just give you a general thing over here. So if you guys are married and Chariot is always single, that you are like actually examining or re-examining certain things. Maybe you're like renewing the vows. Maybe you're reaffirming your commitment of some sort. Maybe you were questioning the health of something, in which direction this really goes. Because Six of Cups also talks about the children, the whole freaking package deal. This can talk, I mean, husband and children, wife and children kind of a thing. But there is also a letter which can indicate invitation. Maybe you are invited to somebody's wedding, somebody that is from the past, but it's very relevant to your present situation. It's going to bring some information to the surface, and you're kind of very hesitant to go in that direction. Very hesitant because of what is unexpected, or you're expecting somebody from the past reappearing in some form, maybe challenging some kind of commitment. You know, like when you go to the church and when they say, anybody who has anything to say against it, say it now or stay silent forever, and somebody will speak over here. That's kind of like situation that I see here, and it can be connecting, I guess, to kind of like various things as I have told you in terms of the signs. What, you guys are still guessing? I told you no more guessing. Okay, one more time. This is it. This is the last one. This is the last one. Well, you twisted my arm. Twisted my arm, so we can do that. So this was Aries, and no, I do have three. How come do I have three? Oh no, you're right. I'm wrong. You're absolutely right. Because we have three. So this is the last one. So let me just remove this fluff. Oh, I didn't even put the fluff on for Aries. Okay. Sorry, Aries. I was too intrigued to just go in the reading. So what do we have? We have Taurus, Scorpio, Cancer, and Virgo. So somebody's going to guess this time. And Barbie. Barbie is the winner for Taurus. So Barbie, and what do we see here? Ooh, you're getting two cards. You're also getting Chariot and the World. This is very positive. This is a win. There's like moving forward. It's kind of like moving forward solo. You know what you want. You know how you want it. This is a culmination of something that has been lasting a while. It's a cycle. And Chariot is like somebody who wins the war. So very positive, madam. And also, even if you add added, like 21 and 7 is 29. It talks about higher power, kind of like coming down, finally attending to your case, and kind of like putting a check mark on it that is like free to go, and it is moving forward. So it's really, really good that kind of like happens. So, okay, the guesses were there, and this was, which kind of like was that? Barbie's guess Taurus. So Taurus is 144.20. Taurus. And you're right, Chris. Scorpio will eventually come, either the next one or the after that one. So we have Page of Pentacles, and we have a 7 of Wands, and then we have 5 of Swords. So Taurus, there is a conflict. There is a conflict between what you want and what is happening. This is card, when it's upright, talking about you defending your situation and defending it effectively, because even though you're outnumbered, you're in a better situation and you can kind of like push things aside just because of position. But this talks about being in a bad position and everybody's coming at you from all the sides. So it's almost like here he is at a crossroads, but no matter where you take it, there is like this kind of like harsh attitude coming from all the sides. And this is the Wands, which talks about you cannot move into the action, versus 5 of Swords, it kind of like talks about different people having different attitudes. And when 5 of Swords reverses, it's really kind of like creating a situation where that somebody's outsmarting you here, or somebody thinks that their will is more important than yours. Very intriguing over here. Let's see this. So officer, it's somebody in authority, basically putting their foot down over some situation. And 7 of Wands is judge. You're finding in a situation that somebody is blocking your path of moving forward. And like both of them are very official so you're like you're finding resistance of very powerful people over here, Taurus. And let me see the Fox. Interestingly, I always connect Fox with work. It could be that you, in your work life, you have maybe been accused of something, and you have to defend yourself, and everybody's pointing finger at you, kind of like making you being the party that has been really wronged. It kind of like you clearly feel wronged here in the situation because you started from the position. It's really interesting that both Fox and him are kind of like walking this path, and he has the map and he had the concept and the tower, which is his tower, the home, but somebody's challenged this entire thing because the Fox is technically negative and talks about con artist and somebody who's cunning, but somebody who can be also very smart, and that could be you. Maybe you're too smart for your own good, because this is kind of like asking you that, and this time you're playing or going along with quote unquote the system, kind of a thing, but you are feeling betrayed over here. It's kind of like a dubious character. So somebody's possibly, you really need to clear your name. That's kind of like what comes to somebody is looking for somebody else's best interest over yours, and it is clearly coming through. It could be police involved, could be judges involved. So be careful how you drive, guys. Be careful in how you relate to people, because these are words and these are actions, and they can have consequences over here, right? Because you are not being trusted for one reason or another. This is really, really weird, right? So it also can talk about the danger that is around. So be careful with whom you share and what, because you might be a family member that is somehow deceitful, because that's really close to you, right? It's not always about people. It can mean that simply like there's like something from home and that you want to do things from home, and somehow maybe somebody's telling you this is not available as well. So this is going to be interesting. I'll be looking closely at Taurus in the next round that we have, and just see if we get more information. But these are your July and August messages over here that we see. So let's see. And we do not have the guesses anymore, so that was Taurus. So we have Virgo and Scorpio. So let's, and again didn't put it. Okay, great. Forgetful. So which one is which? So which one goes first? The first one will be Virgo. Well, Scorpio, sugar comes to last. So Virgo comes first. Let's not forget to put the little angelic kitty over here. Here we go. And Scorpio will be last, I guess. Virgo. And let's see. Virgo. Oh, timestamp. Virgo. 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 So we have, the Tower. We didn't have a Tower in a while. Whew. This is very intense, guys. So the Tower talks about, you know how I said, I prefaced this whole reading that we'll be going through times of transformation, and each of us will be transforming differently, that we will find that we are removing people from our life, and yet new people are coming into our life. So we have the Tower over here, and Tower talks about something that has been built improperly, something that needs, something that collapses. It's not a fun thing to go through. I have been going through Tower for almost a month right now, so Jesus Christ, like, you have to rebuild. So I have decided just to stand behind and just like wait for everything to collapse, and then just to see what to do, you know, to try to repair it halfway, because that situation is actually clarifying things for you and putting you in a much better frame of mind. You're getting to this Nine of Cups where there's like emotional kind of like energy coming through you, right? There is this energy of being solo, yes, but Nine of Cups also talks about satisfaction and feeling fulfilled and being very choosy about who you let in that world, because you're realizing how that happiness has to be earned. So hence allowing somebody to enter that space can be almost, I don't know, intrusive in some ways. But there is also a path in front of you where there's a new beginning. It's a little bit different Ten of Wands than from Morgan Greer. He actually sees where he's going, but even at that, it's really, really heavy weight. But I do have to say, in this particular deck, he kind of like balanced it out, both sides. And Ten of Wands can talk about secrets. Ten of Wands can talk about burdens. But Ten of Wands talks about, here in this case, it's kind of like a steep mountain, as we can see over here, not so much here. It is steep, but he seems to be, even though he's struggling, he is progressing forward. So maybe you're taking a breather before you spread your wings and kind of like you're going in a completely new direction over here. And Ten of Wands is a new beginning. It's a new energy. It's everything, but it's something that might take lots of effort to kind of like push things through. So let's go with Ten of Wands. I'm going to put Lenormand on these two, and there is a child. So yeah, there's like something new, some new beginning, something that you still didn't fully form, but it's there. It's really, really happening. And let's see this, the Tower. And the Tower, we have jealousy. Oh, do you have people in your life who are with whom you just maintain some kind of like relationship, who basically have no value whatsoever in your life, and now this entire branch of communication needs to just collapse in order for you to find peace. That's very, very possible, right? Because this can talk friends, this can talk boyfriends, girlfriends. It's just simply some kind of like betrayal that can be happening in a situation. So you know what, like, I mean, as long as you know who to disconnect and how to kind of like pull in and connect, that is kind of like how these things would really work out. And since this is a Virgo, the Nine of Cups is really important because it connects with your sign, with Hermit, which talks about kind of like applying one of these aspects. So keep in mind that you're like 2 signs away from your own sign, from your own solar return. And usually when you go 1 sign before or 1 sign after, it's more difficult. It's kind of like usually clashing, but now you're still in a harmonious aspect that is really happening in so-called kind of like sextile kind of a thing. So you're in a really good situation in order to kind of like set things right. And I feel this 10 of Wands might start to be more prevalent when we get into this fire sign transit, which is, I think, after, what is it, 23rd this month, that we are entering into Leo. And the last one must be Scorpio. So let me just check the very last one. And there it is, Scorpio. Of course, Scorpio has to make a special appearance, being last, knowing that the last cards always get the special attention. So let me just change the sign here into Scorpio, and let's do this timestamp 1:55:55. That's going to be very, very interesting. It's going to be a very important message. So Scorpio, Scorpio, Scorpio. Oh, that's why it is knitting yogi. I seen that. That's really beautiful. In Toronto, they were doing that very, very much. So Scorpio, Scorpio. Oh, we have 1 card, and it is 5 of Pentacles. Feeling alone, feeling left out, feeling isolated, feeling cold. Oof. Man, you know what? This is something about Scorpio that always, okay, so Scorpios are not going through the good phase right now at all. So we have 2 sevens. There is a lots of analysis. There is a lots of internal processing that is really happening. Whenever we have odd numbers, it's a lots of doubt as well happening. It's like instability that kind of like enters the situation. But we're really talking about something that has the seed of a new beginning. When the tarot comes through, and literally we don't have 1 single positive card. And the reason the tower shows up in this case is like, look, everything is collapsing. You know what I was talking about, leaving the behind. Like literally, like you are not even able to save even small little bits and pieces over here. And that's why the tower shows up and say, okay, you know what? And this is very Scorpio attitude. Let's burn everything to the ground and let's start all over again. And that's kind of like what I really see. And that can be on a financial kind of like ground here. It can also be in your attitudes and how you relate to people. Because you kind of like do have a little bit of, I do see for some of you, there's like self-esteem issue where, you know, like you just simply feel that you're not being heard or that you're not being valued, where sometimes you're jumping the gun and kind of like you really, because you are like naturally intuitive, but sometimes, and not always, that intuition works. So this kind of like talks about this false intuition that came through and you reacted trusting it. So now you're saying, okay, maybe I'm just inundated with all these messages and everything, and you're just really looking at this Tower, almost like a saving grace. And that is like one sign that is going to say, like, bring it on. If nothing works, you know, the Scorpio stings itself and kills itself. So what do we have? Oof. This is about love. Everything is collapsing over here. This is about some kind of depression of some sort. Maybe a person was going through, and this is also depression card as well. And this one is journey. So you were trying to move forward, but like you found all doors closed. You just simply, nothing hatched, if you wish, right? It's almost like ugly duckling, kind of like a story. But you didn't really have a happy ending in all of that, because you just like felt like, I mean, that people are making you sick, situation is making sick. You had a long situation, maybe of 7 months of feeling really down. And this is why now saying, and this is kind of like love and this intimacy is very important for you. You're almost like coming to the situation, well, you know what, let's start all over. I'm going to pull the Lenormand over here. Scorched earth, pretty much. This is Scorpio, like only with you, like, yeah, you're moving forward. You're looking for a new solution. This could mean moving. This could mean something completely starting from the scratch. New job, new stuff. Like something is being left behind big times. And anybody who's dealing with Scorpio should really watch it, because they are going through a massive transformation. So there are no more whatever larva. I don't even know Scorpios go to larva stage. They're like big freaking Scorpio and like biting everywhere, and like they literally look for the collapse in order to build and rebuild a completely different new world. But this is simply in order to save themselves, because they felt they were really sinking and they were not living what they are called for here. Oh boy, let's say I would not like to be Taurus and I would not like to be Scorpio. Interestingly, they're on the same axis, so they're not even weighting up or down. It looks like it's very unstable, and it's almost like a wormhole if you really think about it, that you go in and you don't know where you're going to end, or if you're going to save yourself in the very end. So it's very important, guys, that you kind of like are very patient when you kind of like take your step and move forward. And the last part is, guys, our last doors that we are going to do right now. So just think about your wish or your question, and let's do this. Doors number 2. I'm going to shuffle cards. Cards are shuffled. I'm just going to cut them 3 times, and we are going to seek the bottom card and see what it tells us. Let me just put this down while the screen opens for you. 20220. That's the stamp that I saw. It's going to be interesting messages. Kylie said, True Cat Hands, I'm keeping my distance and letting Scorpio the space to transform when they get through their hurt first. Yeah, and there's like something really, really going interesting. So, guys, what did you pick? Door number 1, door number 2, or door number 3? Think about your questions, and I'm starting with the door number 1. There is the Hangman, which really talks about needing to sacrifice here. So the question is neither yes or no. You simply need to take the back seat to something and just do everything as told. Because in order for this to work, in order to get to yes, you need to understand the situation or the person better. And the only way you would understand is literally shadowing them, literally understanding their ways. Any other kind of like way would not work and would end up to no. So just keep this in mind. The door number 2 is 4 of Cups. that's one of those cards that really talk about complete emotional imbalance. That there's like maybe somebody depressed, somebody is really bored, or somebody is boring, and you are not finding the zest in life. There's some kind of like possibilities of getting you out of that funk, if you wish. You're not even allowing that, you're not seeing that as a solution. So it is very important over here to I would say the answer is no, because you're rejecting everything. You're almost like not even sure about your own question. You're like almost like you're saying to yourself, "Oh, why did I ask this? I asked this just because I was told to ask a question. I don't really have energy to do it. So why even bother asking these questions, guys?" So this goes back to you, that maybe you need to deal a little bit, adding yourself a D3 vitamin, spending time outside, and it's kind of like really overall important to affect yourself emotionally. And number 3 is Knight of Pentacles. So something is good happening here, something is warm, you're realizing somebody looked your back, somebody accepted you, the troubles are gone. This is like the knight who comes and rescues, and as I said, it's Aquarius, it could be a friendly kind of like a knight. And yeah, the answer is yes over here. So this is very positive, but again, it's Pentacles, so it might be a little bit kind of like stretch period. So this generally can talk about month or so, but keep that in mind. So here we are, my dear ladies and gentlemen. It was so nice to see you again. Let me see when is our next date. Now our next date is on 23rd. Absolute timing, great timing, because that's the beginning of Leo. So we will do the Leo solar return reading and kind of like see where it goes. So if you guys have any news about what was happening regarding your reading or regarding your individual card that you managed to win, it would be good to come back to this reading and just like put the notes, so that way we kind of like know for the future, and you encourage the spirits or energy, whatever is being transferred through me, to come through and help. So thank you all for being here. In 2 weeks we are going to see each other again. I love you. Thanks for sharing the company. I'm calling you my kittens. And hopefully until the next time, we are going to be all happier and all enjoying the summer even more. Except for you, Kylie, you're going to be in a deeper winter. But since you don't have 25 feet of snow, you're going to be fine. So thank you, Barbie. I love you guys. I wish you all the best. And until the next time, just check the stamps on the website. I'm going to just put them in a few moments if you need to re-watch it. Until the next time,